Many people in our societies, be it our friends, our family, our relatives, our teachers, always keep telling us that we ought to keep fighting, we ought to keep struggling, we should never give up because that's simply the right thing to do. But I say sometimes quitting is the best option towards saving our own lives, and we should always prioritize living than dying in a way that makes us look like warriors. Hello everyone and welcome back to Awimbo's Chronicles. If you are a first-time subscriber, thank you for choosing this channel, and if you are a continuing subscriber, I am ever so grateful for you and thank you for trusting the process. Today's question is very simple. Have you ever sat through a terrible movie simply because you watched more than half of it? Or have you stayed in a toxic job environment simply because you've worked in that corporation for so many years, you've invested a lot of time there? Or have you stayed in a toxic friendship/relationship simply because this was your childhood buddy and you have so much memories together and you're afraid of moving on? If your answer to these questions is yes, then you have fallen into the sunken cost trap. This normally manifests itself as a mindset trap that keeps us staying and investing our time, money, and effort and energy as well in circumstances and situations that are no longer serving us. But don't worry, today I'm here to give you actionable steps of moving on and overcoming the sunken cost trap. I'll start with a short story. I'm sure most of us are aware of the blockbusters, and if you're not, I'll not blame you, because the reason you don't know about them is because they allowed the sunken cost trap to not only trap them but also kill them. But back to the story. At some point, the blockbusters were the kings of movie rentals. They used to own the movie space literally. And a few years later, we have a little unknown Netflix who emerges. What does Netflix do upon managing to enter this market? Netflix goes to Blockbuster and tells Blockbuster, can we partner up? And Netflix offers this opportunity to Blockbusters numerous times, and Blockbuster rejects. And Blockbuster's reason is, I have invested a lot of time and money and effort and research towards making my brand what it is today, and I cannot risk it by partnering a small unknown person. And at that point, Blockbuster was already starting to lose revenues to Netflix, who was already upcoming in the market. Fast forward a few years, Netflix is thriving and Blockbuster is gone, as you correctly guessed in your mind. And this is a classic example of the sunken cost fallacy at play, where we choose to invest in things that are clearly no longer working for us. So what exactly is this sunken cost trap? It happens when we keep investing our time, money, effort, or energy in that project, in that bad habit that is clearly not working for us. And it always happens and skews us from seeing the next big thing or the next best option for us, because of the assumption that continuing to work, continuing to stay there will yield better results for us. So why does this happen? Three things. Firstly, the loss aversion that is inherent to us as human beings. We are always afraid of losing things that we've already invested a lot of time, money, energy, effort in, and that's why we keep staying there. And secondly, the commitment bias. And due to the fact that we are afraid of losing things we've invested in a lot of time and effort, we want to commit there and commit and continue working towards that, thinking that if we do this, the things there will get better. And thirdly, the emotional attachment. And this is something that happens all the time. If you do what we've said leads to the sunken cost trap, the first two things, you obviously develop some emotional attachment because you've kept staying there, you've invested time, energy, you've formed these memories that you think should not be erased, and that's why you now have this emotional attachment that keeps us staying there. And sometimes staying there costs us more than letting go. So here are 3 actionable steps you can implement to help you overcome this sunken cost fallacy. Firstly, reframe the question. Instead of asking yourself, what have I invested thus far to reach this place? Ask yourself, what could I potentially gain by moving forward? Imagine you have been working in a job for 5 years and you're so miserable in that job. Nothing seems to be working for you. Instead of consistently thinking about the amount of time you have spent there, potentially ask yourself, what could I gain if I actually take on new opportunities? I think that would give you a clearer perspective in terms of evaluating that situation, and that will be far much better for you in terms of making your decision. The second thing you should do is approach it from the point of a friend. Like, look at it as if you are giving a friend advice, and this taps into our human wiring and the biases we have internally. Most of the times we are always capable of seeing the problems in our friends' relationships and not doing the same for ourselves. So if we approach these situations that we keep investing in that are clearly not working as though they are our friends' relationships or things, I bet you, and kid you not, you'll be able to identify the problems faster, and this will help you move on. And thirdly, evaluate the opportunity cost of staying there. Always remember, every minute, every second, every dollar, every shilling, every ounce of energy you spend there is a minute, energy, dollar or shilling that you could have spent in something better, that could have made you feel significantly better. So if you are here listening to me and have been in a situation or circumstance that is clearly not working, ask yourself these questions and endeavor to move on, endeavor to let go, because sometimes holding on costs us more than letting go. So if you found this video helpful, remember to leave a like and comment, and also subscribe and share the video with your loved ones and your friends. Remember, letting go is not always a bad option, but sometimes it leads us to the next best option for our lives. That has been all for this episode. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.